Hello students, in this video I want to explain the refraction of light on spherical surface. Spherical surface, for example, spherical lenses. So before going to the refraction on spherical surfaces, so I want to explain the relation between refractive index of medium, speed of light and wavelength. Already I explained in previous part, but here the refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium, or the refractive index of first medium relative to second medium is equal to refractive index of first medium by refractive index of second medium. According to definition for the refractive index of any medium is defined as the ratio of speed of light in vacuum or free space to speed of light in medium. So this is refractive index of first medium is defined as speed of light in free space or vacuum divided by speed of light in first medium divided by speed of light in free space or vacuum divided by speed of light in second medium. So from this relation we have to write N1 by N2 equal to, so C0 by C1 into C2 by C0. Here C0 represents speed of light in free space. Here C0 represents speed of light in free space. That's why these two are get cancelled. That equal to N1 divided by N2 equal to C2 divided by C1. This is equal to N12. N12 represents refractive index of first medium relative to second medium. Refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium. Refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium must be equal to refractive index of first medium by refractive index of second medium equal to speed of light in second medium by speed of light in first medium. From this we have to write the relation refractive index and speed of light both are inversely proportional to each other. And we know here, due to the refraction, the light takes place refraction, the frequency remains constant, the speed of light changes and wavelength is also changes. So that's why we know speed of light C equal to n lambda, or n is nothing but frequency. This is we have to take as nu lambda. The frequency remains constant. For the first medium, C1 equal to nu into lambda 1, C2 equal to nu into lambda 2. So from this one here, C1 by C2 or C2 by C1, from this relation, N12 equal to C2 by C1. C2 by C1 equal to, we have to write lambda 2 divided by lambda 1. From these, so N1 by N2 equal to C2 by C1 equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1. This is the relation between, so speed of light and wavelength, refractive index and wavelength, refractive index and speed of light. So from these, finally we conclude that the refractive index and speed both are inversely proportional to each other. Similarly, the refractive index and wavelength both are inversely proportional to each other. If the refractive index is more, speed of light is less. The medium which is having the more refractive index, in that medium the speed of light is less, because the medium which is more refractive index, it having more density, optical density. What is meant by optical density? The medium which is optical denser mean So the medium, the ability of the medium refract the light, the ability of medium refract the light is called so optical density, optical tensor. The medium which is having the more ability of refraction of light, the medium have more optical density. It is the optically denser medium. The medium which is compared to this one, another medium is which is less ability of refraction of light, that is so less refraction, less optical density means that medium we call as the rarer medium. So denser medium and rarer medium. Denser medium means so in that medium optical density is more. It is the more optical denser with compared to another medium. So that's why here this is the relation between these two. When the light travel from one medium to another medium, or when the light travel from one medium to another medium, see here, this is the one medium, this is the one medium, this is the boundary, this is the first medium, this is the second medium. When the light travel from one medium to another medium, the light bends at the interface. The light bends at the interface, or if it is the light travel from denser medium to rarer medium or rarer medium to denser medium. Already you know denser medium of light means the medium which is having the more optical density, means more refraction in that medium. So that's why here if this is the one medium, this is the boundary, this is the medium 1, this is medium 2. When the light travel from medium 1 to medium 2, this is the incident ray. It is incident on the boundary of two medium. This is the one medium, this is the another medium. For our convenience here, medium 2 is denser medium or more density, optically density. So this is rarer medium or less optical density of optical density denser. This is optically so denser. This is optically rarer, means the density of medium is less compared to this one. So that's why the light is travel from rarer medium to denser medium. So rarer medium to denser medium means it is more optical density. That's why refractance is more. This is refractance is less. When the refractance is more, this is refractance is less. That's why here the light travel from rarer medium to denser medium. The speed of light will be decreases. Due to that one, the light bends towards the normal. This is the point of incidence. Then we have to draw the normal at the point of incidence. The actual path of the light is like this, but it is bends towards the normal due to the decreasing of light. When the light enter into the second medium or denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Sorry, it bends towards the normal. It bends towards the normal. This is the actual path of the light like this. It bends towards the normal like this. So this is the refracted ray, this is the incident ray. Refracted ray and incident ray. The speed of light is decreases when the light enter into the denser medium from rarer medium due to the change in its speed, due to decrease in its speed. That's why the light bends towards the normal. So that's why the angle made by the refracted ray with the normal is nothing but angle of refraction. The angle made by the incident ray with the normal is nothing but angle of incidence. This is angle of incidence, this is angle of refraction. So in this case here, angle of refraction is less than the angle of incidence. So that's why this is angle of incidence. Both are here alternate angles, vertically opposite angles. That's why here this is the I, but this is the R. So the actual path of the light is like this. The light travel from one medium to another medium. So the light travel from rarer medium to denser medium. It bends towards the normal. Due to that one here, angle of refraction is less than the angle of incidence. So due to that one here, So angle IE, angle I minus angle R is nothing but angle of deviation. The angle, the refracted ray deviated from its original path to here. This is angle of deviation. So in this case, angle I minus angle R, angle of deviation must be equal to angle I minus angle R, because when the light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, due to that one the speed is decreases. Due to that reason, the refracted ray bends towards the normal. Similarly, another case here, if the same situation, but the light travel from denser medium to rarer medium. This is the denser medium, this is the rarer medium. When the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, so this is the incident ray. The light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it enter into the rarer medium. The actual path of the light is like this, but the light is enter into the rarer medium means rarer medium conductance is less. Due to that one, the speed of light will be increases. Due to the speed of light will be increases, that's why the light bends away from the normal. This is the normal, this is actual path of light, it bends away from the normal. So that's why here, this is angle of incidence. The angle made by the incident ray with the normal is nothing but angle of incidence. The angle made by the refracted ray with the normal is nothing but angle of refraction. This is angle of refraction. According to this one, this is angle of incidence. So in this situation here, angle R is greater than angle I. I want angle of deviation. Angle R minus angle I equal to angle of deviation. This is angle of deviation. Remember here, when the light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, the light bends towards the normal. What is the reason? Because the speed of light decreases and it is enter into denser medium. When the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, the light bends away from the normal because its speed is increases when it is enter into the rarer medium. These are the conditions. The light bends away from, sometimes it is bends away from the normal, sometimes it is bends towards the normal. It is towards the normal, this is the away from the normal. When the light bends towards the normal, angle I is more than angle R. When the light bends away from the normal, angle I is less than the angle R. So these are the conditions for the light. So passes through the one medium to another medium like this. Now we are going to the spherical surfaces. Refraction of light through spherical surfaces. For example here, lens. What is meant by lens? It is a refracting. So lens is a refracting material having two surfaces. At least one is the spherical surface. That arrangement is called a lens. For example here, this is refracting surface, this is refracting surface. These two are bound together. This is the refracting surface, this is the refracting surface bound together. This is the refracting surface, this is the refracting surface. These two are bound together. This is the refracting surface, this is also refracting surface. In these all two refracting surfaces are bind together to form the lens. But in that lens at least one surface is spherical. See here, two surfaces are spherical. Here two surfaces are spherical. Here one surface is spherical, one is the plane. Another one, this is one plane, one is the spherical. These two are spherical surfaces, these two are spherical surfaces. At least one surface is spherical surface. So that's why here these all are we call as the lenses. But these all are not the same lenses. See here, this is the one curved surface. Just like the curved surface we call as the convex surface. This is also convex surface. Two convex surfaces are bind together to form the convex lens, or two convex surfaces. That's why this is we call as the biconvex lens. Biconvex lens, simply we call as convex lens. See from here, this is the one curved surface, this is the other curved surface. It is the concave surface, this is also concave surface. Two concave surfaces are bind together to form a lens. So that's why here, this is we call as the biconcave lens or concave lens. Biconcave lens or concave lens. See here, this is, one is the plane surface, another one is the convex surface. That's why this is we call as the plano-convex lens. This is one surface is plane, refracting surface, and the refracting surface is concave surface. That's why it is we call as plano-concave lens. See here, one is the convex surface, and one is the concave surface. This is convexo-concave surface, convexo-concave lens. This is here concave and convex, concavo-convex lens. These are the different kinds of lenses, but mainly we are using these two, convex and concave, or this is we call as the biconvex, biconcave. In case of convex lens, the middle is thicker compared to the edges. The difference between these two is, in case of convex lens, the middle is thicker compared to the edges. In case of concave lens, the middle is thinner compared to the edges of that lens. So that's why mainly we are using the biconvex lens and biconcave lens. Simply we call as convex lens and concave lens. After that, the important terms in case of lenses. For our convenience, we have to draw the dotted lines at the center, means from one end to another end of the lens. Here also, one end to another end of the lens. After that, so we are discuss about the optical center or optic center. Optic center is nothing but center of the lens. It is the point on center of the lens. This is the optic center. Optic center or optical center represents with letter O. It is also O like this. So after that here, this is the generally this is the first curved surface. This is the second curved surface. In this case, this is the first curved surface. This is the second curved surface. The lenses having the two curved surfaces. That's why the lenses have two focuses. So that's why foci, two foci, here also two foci. So this is the part of this halo sphere. This is the part of this halo sphere. This is the part of this halo sphere. So that's why here in this case, so this side one focus, this side unfocus. So this is we have taken as F1, this is we have to consider as F2. When joining the line joining from focus to optical center, line joining from focus to optical center is called principal axis. This is the principal axis. So this is the F1, this is the F2. So this is if it is the center of this curved surface, that's why we call as 2F1. This is the center of this curved surface. So that's why this is we call as the 2F2. So in case of lenses, lens having the two curved surface, that's why the lens, every lens having the two foci, F1 and F2. Similarly, concave lens also. This is the optical center. It is the first curved surface. It is the part of this halo sphere. That's why this halo sphere center is like this. So its focus is like this. So that's why here this is F1, this is 2F1. So similarly, this is the part of this halo sphere. This halo sphere center is like this. This is its center. That's why its focus is like this. This is the F2, 2F2. When joining these focus and optical center, this is we call as the principal axis. Principal axis. Optical center, focus, principal axis. Optical center, focus, principal axis in case of convex lens as well as concave lens. Concave lens. So remember once again here, this is plano-convex, plane surface and convex surface. Plano-concave, plane surface and concave surface. Mainly this is convexo-concave, concavo-convex. These are the main terms, and another one is I want to find what is meant by focus. How to find the focus with experiment. Take a one lens. A lens is placed on a lens holder. The lens is facing or focusing towards the sun rays. See here, these are the sun rays. So ray 1, ray 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 light rays are coming from the object which is at infinite, just like we consider as sun. These are the sun rays. The sun is at infinite distance. That's why the light rays which are coming from the object which is at infinite distance, these are parallel to each other. A parallel beam of light from the sun is incident on the convex lens. Convex lens. So in this side we have to keep a one screen. When the screen is moving towards the lens, at which position of the screen we get the clear image of the object. At that position the screen is fixed. When the screen is fixed here, that's why here the image of the object is placed here. Image of the object is formed here. Or otherwise we have to keep a one white paper here. Then the white paper may be burned. Due to all light rays are intersect at this point. That point is nothing but focus. So that's why in this case the all beam of light rays are converged to a point. Due to that one, this convex lens is we call as converging lens. Converging lens. Convex lens is we call as converging lens. And another one here, the same parallel beam of light is incident on the concave lens. Concave lens. Due to that one, due to the light rays deviate like this, does not pass us to like this, but it is obvious the light rays which are deviate, the light rays which are diverge from the F2, diverge from a point, the light rays which are appears diverge from a point, that point we call as the focus. So that's why this is the focus here. These all light rays are diverged from this point. So first light ray, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. The fifth one is coming like this. So it is coming like this. So that's why these all are diverged from a point. That point we call as the focus. See in this lens, all light rays are diverged, not converged to a point. These after getting the refraction, the refracted rays are diverged from a point. That's why the concave lens we call as diverging lens. Diverging lens. Thank you.